Hello, everybody. Oh, where is it? Does it work? Yeah. Okay, nice. I would like to provide, a little taste about Liferay capabilities and workflow and artificial intelligence. Of course, artificial intelligence. So we are so strong in portals, all kinds of portals, so client portals, customer portal, and so on. And those are the most, useful capabilities that we can provide to our customer in order to reach their target, the target. So we of course have a content management system that is the legacy capabilities that we have since the day one, but we have a real strong commerce too, okay? And we truly, believe that personalization is an important topic for us, because in this way we can allow, the leitmotif to be able to speak in the proper way to the proper person in the best way we can, and with the less effort that we can. So let's try with the deep dive. Content management, of course. Pages, content pages, there are not just pages, okay? There are the touching point between your site and your users. And the users should be a customer, of course, but should be a partner or a provider in general. But also sometimes your employees. For example, when we think about the internet, no? It's so important. So the technology that has to grant this way to approach in order to provide the right information to the perfect person in that way. And what I expect from a DXP when we talk about the content pages, that actually allows me to create a personalized approach to create the page, okay? So not a general approach. And we will see later better that is so important to be able to find the right person and find the right content. Yeah, of course, I wanted my page, I have not to think which kind of device is using consulting my my page. I want that it is able by itself to render the page in the best way it can, okay? And of course, A/B testing in order to understand which kind of approach it's more performing. And in this way, we have this element that is fragment, and I will explain you what I mean with that, that is so used by our customer, but never enough, because it's so powerful, so easy to do, and it can basically do whatever we want. I created really, really complex environment based on fragments, or the easiest that you can imagine. Okay, so we have this isolated in some way element that we call fragment, and is built by an HTML, CSS, and JavaScript by itself. And down there we have, probably there is, yeah. It is the Liferay environment actually. So in that point we can build elements that we can reuse in other pages. So if you build something so strong, so useful, that you want to use in a page, but probably you want to use it in another page, you have not to rebuild by zero, but from the scratch, but you can reuse something that you already done. So it is so important and so powerful. With fragments, you can do, for example, a simple banner, but you can create API interaction with a third part digital platform. So this is really, really, really strong, and cool. And when you have a palette of fragments, you can basically use these kind of elements in your pages just with the page builder. So in following the rules of low code, no code that we believe in it very, very much. And just building the page with using fragment just with a drag and drop. So it's really, really powerful and easy to use. Personalization. Of course, personalization is a fundamental topic in Liferay DXP. With that, we don't just mean using your logo or your color palette provided by marketing. That is so important, of course, to have a generic image and approach to your users, but also that allows you to communicate in the best way you can to the best segment of people that you can find and detect. What I mean with segment, for example, if I have a guest user that accesses actually on my site, I can understand from which country he's doing it, okay? But more, when they log in your platform, he has to provide a lot of information by himself. So in that way, you have a lot of information, and you can divide your users that at the first point of view can be always the same, but actually you have a lot of information that you can use in order to segment the people and communicate in a different way to those people. So when you create this kind of selection that of course is dynamically, because in that page you can see how the query should be built by the user, and so no code, okay? So I can select the information that I need to use to create segments of users, and in this way I can create groups, okay? Theoretical and abstract groups that I'm sure that I can communicate to them in a different way, in the best way I can. And how can I reach this target? Of course, once I have a lot of segments, or not necessarily a lot, but enough to communicate in the best way, I can say, okay, I have 3 segments, and I want to communicate to them in a different way, to a different approach. The page, the custom, the page builder, and for the custom page, allows you to use those segments in order to say, okay, I insert an image here, a banner here, a text, a web content for that kind of people, and for another segment, communicate with other contents. And it's so important because when you reach your user with the perfect content, you are more efficient and targeting in this way. Okay, low code. We believe in low code since probably the day one in Liferay, because we want that the IT areas doesn't become a bottleneck, okay? But it needs to be helpful, but using low code and no code technology in a platform like the DXP, it allows you allows your business people to be able by itself to create something that is really, really usable. For example, we built whole application based on low code, no code. And for example, Liferay objects are one of the most powerful elements that we can use and provide in this way with the low code, no code. What is it? Basically, is a store information that allows you to create something similar to a database table, but without have any idea of how it works actually in the technical way, but just with drag and drop and populating some fields, okay? And what kind of information or features that includes? Of course, fields. For example, if I create an object and I call it invoice, I would like to have some fields. For example, the amount, the fiscal code of the other part of the invoice, and the cost center, and so on. So you can create it just selecting from a menu and typing a few words in order to create a name, for example, of the fields. You can create a relationship. Again, if we were talking about object as an invoice, I would like to have a relationship with the orders, for example, okay? I can manage it just using low-code, no-code, and without writing any code line. It is really important. I can manage actions and notifications. So, for example, if I have a new entry in this object, so a new invoice, I can trigger a notification or perform actions. For example, with a webhook, I can run another API call, for example, and so on. So those are one of the most important elements that we can provide in order to reach this target, to allow that low-code and no-code could be used more than ever. Another element in this way that is so cool and so important is, of course, forms. So everybody knows forms, but forms fragment in the Liferay way to approach is to create something more reusable, again, okay? And it can be linked directly with an object in order to say, okay, you populate the form, you click on submit, and it by itself communicates directly in the object, creating a new entry. I'm sorry, I have to go back because I missed one part. Yeah, this part. Always, again, talking about object, one of the most cool things that we have, it's API builder. So when I create an object about invoice, for example, Liferay by itself creates a layer based on API by itself without writing any line of code, and it's so cool. And the first time that I saw it working, I was surprised because it's really complex, the activity that there is behind it. And looking at it, it seems magic, you know? So it's really, really interesting to at least to try one time in your life. Okay, and when you connect it with the form, you can elevate the value of this part, and you can, yeah, use it in the best way. And I think it is so important to analyze this part in order to create a whole application without writing any line of code. Okay, search. Search is important too, always in the same point of view, but it's the same topic, but in a different point of view. So when we speak about to provide the right information to the specific segment of users that you want to speak with, there is the opposite side. So when a user wants to search something on your site, because often when a user reaches your site is searching for something, okay? But you have a know-how and a set of words that you use in your technical way to communicate inside your company and outside. But sometimes happens that the user that is searching for information doesn't know actually how to use that specific word in a technical way. So when he's searching something, we improved our search, assisting it with the AI in order to create a search more semantic as we can. So it is not important which kind of words I'm using, typing it in the search bar, but it's the platform that it must understand what I'm searching for. So in this way, AI is so helpful, and it improved a lot the user experience of the customer of our customers. And it's so important to analyze better this part, because it helps you to communicate better. And this is our, our focus, first focus, actually. Integration. Integration is so important. It's important because when you have informations in your applications and you do not share that with other platforms, you are not using them at 100%. So sharing is important in this kind of project, because sharing information elevates the usability of your platforms. And we created a lot of connectors and integrations with other kind of technologies in order to allow you to use them in an easiest way possible, okay? For example, translations is so important. We have a lot of engines that actually are running, all of them using artificial intelligence at the moment, because otherwise it could be too old, but because now with the AI it's even better, and we are not able to not use that. And in this way, for example, we create automatic translations of pages in all the languages that you want. So easiest way, again, live chat, of course, everybody has a live chat. We have, pick one, because we have really a big amount of live chat that you can integrate in your site for assistant or for sales assistant and so on. Editing, of course, it's important. Generative AI, at the moment we have a connector with OpenAI by native, but we will increase the amount of integrable AI with Gemini, I don't know how to pronounce it properly, but the Google one, okay? And we have another project in company that we are driving, actually. It is called Bring Your Own AI, because for us, we are not an AI company, and we don't want to be it at the moment, who knows? But we think that it is important to allow our users to use their technology, their tools, in the best way they can, and if they want it. And there is another topic so important about AI, because with AI, the question is, okay, but my data, where they are going, okay? So every year are increasing the number of companies that are developing a private LLM platform inside their data center in order to do not share information with third-party companies that sometimes could be really sensible data, okay? So in that way, we want to integrate our DXP with your own AI, and it is so important in this way. And DocuSign for last but not the least, because when you speak about digital transformation, when you speak about portals, of course you will have a lot of documents that the other party has to sign. So why I have to print something and preserve it physically when I can, digital preservation, I can electronic signature and so on. So the time is now to do that, okay? We are able to do that technologically. Always talking about integration, it's so important to understand that it's important to create an infrastructure that allows you to integrate your platform in the easiest way. So we want to promote this new approach in the coupling management in order to have the Liferay DXP as a core, as a black box, okay? And grant the possibility to customize features and integrations with other platforms using client extension that actually are microservices that runs in the same environment of Liferay, but not in Liferay, no? And in this way, you can migrate to the newest version without doubts or without regret about customization. So this part is something that we are promoting a lot, because allows our customers to do immigration in the best way they can, in the easiest. And well, it's of course based on a REST API call. Okay, so now we could speak about business process management, so managing workflows in the company. We have a new partnership with one of the most famous company about BPM. It's called Camunda. And the requirement was to enhance our process management system. And actually, we have already a module that allows you to manage workflows, but and it works in 80% of the cases probably. But when you have to use something more complex and maybe integrating with other platforms, you need something more, okay? So that's why we found Camunda as a partner in this target. And Camunda is a BPMN platform, so basically allows you to design a process graphically. So again, low code, so same philosophy in this way. It is, of course, a BPM orchestrator, so it can manage workflows by itself, of course, with the process engine. Again, fully integrable with API as Liferay, same philosophy, and connects third-party systems with users. And it is important because sometimes a step could be not just a user that has to approve or reject, but you want to inquire something on your ERP or CRM, no? So using Camunda, it is possible to do something similar, okay? Again, BPM defines and manages workflows, allows monitoring workflows, okay? So you can monitor your items of workflow. And when you have a lot of information about your workflows, you can optimize your workflows and do the same thing in less time. Okay, let's try to speak quickly about applicability. This is a set of our most important and famous best practice that we have. Of course, portals, as I said before, intranets, for sure, enterprise website, and commerce. Just pick customer portal, for example. This is an easy, really easy, really easy KYC, so know your customer. A lot used in banks and insurance companies sometimes. And we have, for example, the user has to log in the platform. The bank has to identify the person using those European, of course, technologies that we can apply in order to reach the identification target and task. Face match, video identification with an operator in the other part of the screen, or digital identification, okay? And after the identification, I could require to sign the contract, okay, of your customer with the qualified electronic signature or advanced. And after that, I want to preserve digitally the document. And of course, Liferay doesn't do all things that you can see in this process, but we can integrate managing the whole workflow with Camunda. We can integrate the specific partner that I need for a specific topic in the perfect moment, okay? So integration is important in this way. Integration allows you to reach your target without lose control on your workflow, and it is so important. A second test, for example, in intranet, same thing, but a new employee, okay? So onboarding, HR onboarding. You have a new user to log in your portal because you provide the credential, but he doesn't complete the onboarding. He has to upload his ID document, for example. You want to validate the document in order to see that it is not expired or so on. The new employee has to sign the contract. You want, again, to digital preserve the document. And why not allow the new employee to access to a e-learning portal in order to complete the lessons that it requires. And again, here we have, for example, our OCR platform. We are not an OCR platform. We have not a native solution to do OCR. It could be a third-party company. And again, so integration in this way allows you to reach your target in the easiest ways, maintaining the control on the workflows. Okay, the last one, digital commerce. I can go there really quick because the time is not so much. For example, returns, again, okay, you can print the barcode and so on. Everything managing by automatic process and by automatic task, managed by itself. Okay? So, basically, what allows this new partnership to our customers, and this is important to understand. So, now I can answer yes to more questions, okay, about business case that I have in my company, in my portal. I have more control because now I can manage and analyze processes directly from the DXP. It is important to understand that Liferay DXP wants to be the touching point with your public, and with that I mean that could be customers, they could be supplier, but they could be your employees. So when you want to communicate externally some information, Liferay it must be the answer, okay? We can increase automation, so in this way we are able to do less physical activity and doing that quickly, okay? And you will have more user involved in digital asset, and everybody knows how important it is to allow to use digital solutions in the company, because it means improving, okay? And allow the DXP of Liferay to lead our communication with external environments, with external attendees in that way. Okay, last but not the least, of course, again, artificial intelligence. We have to speak about it. There are a bunch of points where artificial intelligence was integrated in Liferay DXP. But I want to say, I think before, we didn't integrate AI just to say, yeah, we have the flag on the field because in 2025 we have to speak about artificial intelligence. No, we didn't want to do that. We wanted to integrate AI where it is helpful for our customers, okay? And I prefer to wait 1 year to have a new feature than to have something that actually is more cool than useful, okay? I created, again, this page to say this part, and I want to replicate that. And it is important to understand that we can integrate every AI possible at the moment. So, of course, we have a native integration with content, with OpenAI and ChatGPT, but this is not just the only AI that we have on the market, so it is important to understand that we can integrate whatever we want. And where we was able to integrate AI in our processes in order to be helpful for our customer. For sure, content authoring, it's one of the most sensible parts that we can integrate AI in this way. For example, we can create blogs, articles, and so on, just with a simple prompt, setting the tone of the content that they want to create, the number of words, and it creates by itself the content that they need. Okay, the important part here is that you do not need every time an API key or access to ChatGPT, but Liferay DXP uses just one integration for all your users, and it is easier, cheaper, and blah, 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 of course. So in this way, that is the most used probably part of artificial intelligence about content authoring in general, not just in Liferay DXP, but you can do that directly in the DXP without go outside, copying, pasting, blah, blah, blah. You can do that, everything in this point. Generative AI actually could help in different stages of the processes. For example, when you want to upload a new document, a new image that is already present, already there in the DAM, it is able to detect it and say, okay, there is already this image. Do not upload, because sometimes it happens that in a team you have 3 or 4 people that is working on the same project, and sometimes they upload the same document, same image, for example, logos, no? So in this way you can manage it better and store a better repository. That is important too. It can generate imaging, and it can enhance with enrichment, so in creating new metadata in order to make your documents more searchable and quicker and more specific. Yeah, of course, when we speak about commerce, one of the most complicated parts is to create a description of the information about the commerce, so AI can help in this way, providing inspiration sometimes, and or creating actually real description and helped by the AI. So the point is, if it requires a long time, AI could do that faster. Okay, I want to use AI in that moment. And of course, I want to check it before to publish it on the site. But I want to do that integrated inside my DXP. I don't want to go outside the environment and do that again in another platform with different information that is complicated to communicate with that. Chatbot assisted content process. We are not talking about chatbots on the site, okay? We have a lot. I showed that before, and of course it's important, but it's not the focus of this deck. And we are talking about a chatbot inside the administration panel in Liferay. Okay, so I want to communicate directly with the core of Liferay and asking it to create something for me. For example, wall blogs and other type of contents in bulk, okay? So it can create 3 or 4, 10 blogs article in one time, perfectly structured based on AI. It can create and assign categories. So categories are important because when you use it with segments, it becomes really powerful. And it can create by itself and assign the right category to the right content by itself. And the applications are a lot, really a huge number about that, but it can generate pages from a wireframe. So just with a description or with a scratch on a paper, it can create a whole page with all the information required inside. Of course, you have to check it if it's what you was searching for, okay? But it's able to create by itself a lot of elements inside the page by itself, just descripting it. So this is the best way to use AI in Liferay DXP, I guess. And I'm proud that my company wants to follow this pattern, not just for a marketing scope. And I think it is the best way to use AI at the moment. So thank you so much. And I think...
Question and answers?
Yeah, if you have, of course. Otherwise, during the coffee break, I'm able to. Please.
Okay.
In Italiano.
Yes, these latest AI technologies, are they bound to ChatGPT, or we can use other
Yeah,
AI
bring your own AI, yeah, that's
okay.
it, that's part,
So
okay.
This is now working, I mean, can we use it with Gemini already?
Yeah, no, probably I didn't get the question completely.
We have Liferay, and we also have a contract with Google, with Gemini. Can we use Gemini for these AI-powered things that we saw, or it's specific?
You want another AI platform?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's I didn't get if it is a private artificial intelligence or just another provider.
Gemini.
I
Gemini.
didn't get it.
Gemini.
Okay, yeah. We will release the integration in the next quarters, probably already in Q4 or at least Q1 in 2026, by native.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay.
Questions?